have it as. Now let's talk about the second piece of writing information that you have to present. This is section 9. And then you have to write an essay. So section 8, 90 to 120 words is usually you have to say your idea, you disagree with something, you have a question and you have to reply it. But this one is a little bit different. This is an essay. Could you read please the task, Andres?
Okay, model answer. You have been asked to write an essay in answer to the following question. What are the advantages and disadvantages of learning English in your own country? Write 150 to 100 words.
Very good. So remember, the word, the W, you don't pronounce it in many words. Right, wrote, wrong, answer is mute.
Okay,
right?
answer.
So then we have, let me. Okay, so then you go again, you have to write your draft. What are advantages and disadvantages of learning English in your own country? Read the question twice and then think about the advantages and disadvantages. And just think about one or two advantages or two disadvantages. So what do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of learning English in your own country? So first you have to have clear what are your ideas on this topic. Andres.
Right now? Right now?
Now you have just to say it because when you write the draft, it's just your idea. It's
Okay.
perfect grammatically, but concise, right? Very, very precise and concise. So advantages and disadvantages. First, advantages of learning English in your own country, Andres.
Well, the advantage, we have the possibility of learning to speak another language, a
But
foreign language.
yeah, you always have, but what is the advantage of learning English in your own country?
To make my horizon wider.
Again?
To make my horizon wider.
Yeah, but if you learn in a foreign country, your horizon is going to be wider.
Wider, yeah.
Yeah, so what? Look for the differences. So
it would help me in my professional stand.
both will help you.
Okay.
You have to contrast information here. So what's the difference between what is an advantage of learning English in Ecuador that you won't have if you go to the United States?
The advantage maybe is cheap. It's cheaper than maybe cheaper. It's cheaper learning English here in my country than about that overseas.
Very good. So then you just write it's cheaper. So you say advantages. And Michael, let me share with you this. Wait a second. So just to give you an example on how to work with the draft. So you go advantages. Learning English. And my country is cheaper. What else?
It's cheaper. What else?
What more?
What more? I can find many resources on the website. I think.
If you go to other country, you can also access a website. There is no difference.
There's no difference. Okay. Okay. But another advantage. Another advantage. It could be. It could be. We could be, what would be another advantage?
Mhm.
Another advantage.
You can maybe grow in your professional,
Is that I said? Is that I said?
your career,
It's essential. I can go.
in your
You
own
can grow. Okay, I can grow profession in my professional in learning English.
English, right? Right. Advantages of learning
Disadvantages. Disadvantages.
right? So because here you find disadvantages too. So these are advantages, right? But you will find also disadvantages with
Yeah.
this. You say the advantages of the other, right? So what are the advantages of learning English in other country?
Another country. I can learn to speak English easily. It's easier
I can learn
to
easier.
speak English in a easy. I can learn to speak English in an easier way.
I will learn
I will
faster
learn.
and
I
easier.
will learn faster and easier. Yeah.
What else? So this one is already one that's very good.
I will learn. I will learn faster and easier. Yeah.
I will learn faster and easier. So what you need to have is some ideas, right? Just some ideas, and then you
Okay.
put it together on an essay. So let's move to the essay to see how this essay is structured, right? So could you read please the first paragraph?
So I can keep my conversation with.
I can share with native speakers.
I can make. I can make conversations. I can fluid conversations, and I can keep up in my
Right,
pronunciation, in my grammar, in my ideas.
right. So then you have to shorten this. I
Okay,
will become more fluent.
I will become more fluent. Okay, yeah.
So, because if you say it like this, it's like really expressive, like I will become more fluent. So let's read the first paragraph, please.
Okay. The main advantage is that it is cheap to do because you can live at home and continue to study at school or go to work. Another point in favor is that you won't miss your family or friends. Also, you will be able to eat the food you like and feel comfortable in your normal surroundings.
Very good. So then they advise not to
Surroundings. Okay.
repeating the question and give your main point first. Right? So, but I would say to study English in your country, I will introduce it like this, at least. Not to study, studying English
Studying English.
in your country, in your own country, is cheaper. Blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
And then you give some points, right? When you give the points, you see they go like it's cheap. Why? Because you live at home and continue to study or go to work. And you say another point is that you won't miss your family or friends, and you will be able to eat your food and feel comfortable in your normal surroundings. So they give 2 points, 3 points, sorry. You see? But it's very clear. Nothing is abstract. So you have to be concrete. So could you read please this part?
Okay.
The second, no, the second paragraph, but this. Wait a second, let me, this one.
Okay, back up your idea with an additional point or two using simple linking words or phrases rather than more formal ones like moreover.
Right, so this is not very formal. I use another point in favor. Also, you will be able, blah, blah. So, and this is that, and you go with the subject. Also, subject, you see? And you see
Okay.
that you, in this paragraph, you have 3 sentences. This is also important. Don't
Okay.
write very long sentences. Now, let's go with the second paragraph.
Okay. On the other hand, if you go to USA or UK to study English, It can be very expensive, depending on how far you must travel and how long you stay. However, in addition to the language, you will also learn about the culture and have to use English in everyday situations. You will have daily contacts with native speakers who may have strong accents, whereas at home you might not have many chances to practice your English outside the classroom.
So first, you show advantages of learning English in your own country, and then you talk about how
Advantages of speaking English overseas.
of learning English overseas, exactly. And then you say, on the other hand, because the whole paragraph, it's about your own country, right? And then the other paragraph is about learning English in a different place. And all of them have advantages. And the advantage of the first is the disadvantage of the second one, right? So you don't have to repeat them because it flows naturally. So you finish this and we go with the last part. This is the conclusion. In this, you have to be, you give content. You say it's cheap, you won't miss your family, you will eat your food. On the other hand, in this other, if you study overseas, it can be expensive, but you see, however,
I want to add Australia, not only USA or Britain, Australia too, or New
right?
Zealand.
It's up to you. So you can, that's why you can also say overseas, right? So when you use however, it means that you are going to contrast information. Here you have something negative, and then you say something positive, you see? So it can be
This-
very expensive. However, you will learn about the culture and you have to use English in everyday situations. Then you say all the positive, but then you contrast again the information. Whereas at home, you may not have many chances to practice your English outside
outside.
the classroom, right? Because they say advantages and disadvantages, you see? So you start with advantages, and then you say an advantage and a disadvantage, advantages and a disadvantage, and you contrast information using these linking words. It could be whereas or while, however, right? And then you finish and you go to the conclusion. Could you read please the last paragraph?
Okay. Nowadays, with the internet, you can communicate in English easily from your own country. In my opinion, however, if you want first-hand experience of using English naturally, it is better to study English in an English-speaking country.
Very good. So then you show advantages, disadvantages, you give your opinion. At the end, you say, it's better
Okay.
to study English in an English-speaking country. That's the conclusion. Nowadays, and this is general, with the internet, you can communicate easily from your own country. In my opinion, however, so you conclude saying your opinion, right? And this paragraph answered the question. The last paragraph answers the question. And then you have more practice, right? But we won't do the practice for this weekend because you will do it anyway. You have to complete practice test 2. And that's it. Okay, to finish, let me show you. You have to see where you have practice test 2 with the audio files, right? So let me